Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Brothers Grump podcast. I am Timu Kid Rock or Sith Solo. With me tonight is MG88. Tonight's topics we'll be discussing Metroid Prime and its buggy and laggy stuff. We'll also be discussing Fallout 4 and their little debacle with the updates and everything. And a week late, we're going to be talking about Grand Theft Auto Online Mansions if we have enough time. And so I just want to welcome everybody to the podcast this evening. Like I said, Mental God is with us again this evening. I appreciate everybody who's been tuning into the shorts on Instagram and on YouTube. I really appreciate the support. Um, there will be more jokes and laughter tonight. But let's go ahead and get this started. As our topics are, as I said, Metroid Prime, Fallout 4, and maybe a couple other things like Grand Theft Auto. MJ88, why don't you get us started on either of those topics and say hello to everybody tonight?
Yeah, hey, thanks for listening, and everybody, thanks for joining. Um, all right, so the first thing that I kind of will go over is Metroid Prime 4. So, um, I think a lot of people are actually enjoying the game. I think overall it looks pretty good. I mean, there's a few areas I think it needs some work, but overall, like, it looks really fun. But that does not mean that it doesn't have flaws. Now, um, I I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I'm hoping by now you've at least seen some trailers or two, some gameplay footage, and that you do have like a bike, and you can drive around in it, like kind of like an open world area. It looks really cool, sort of, except there's almost nothing in it. But aside from that, you can ride around a bike. Now, the problem with this area is that there's no music, which is really strange. It's one of those things where it just feels like there should be music. It's I don't know if you guys have ever played a game where it's just silent. You don't notice it until you notice it. And you're like, yeah, this doesn't feel right. And you realize, oh yeah, there's no music. Why? Is it broken? And this is kind of one of those situations where the game doesn't have any music in the desert.
Ah, yeah, that would be kind of annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's what I don't like, okay, about this whole situation is that Nintendo has created an amiibo, right, for Metroid Prime 4. I like amiibos; they're pretty cool.
Yeah, me too.
But what I don't like is that in order to have music while you're driving around in the desert, you have to buy a $30 amiibo, and once you scan it, then it will allow you to play background music while you're riding around on your motorcycle. Like that is insane to me. Um, I've never seen anything quite like that before in a game, and I don't. I hope it's not like a trend, but I mean, it's a weird decision. Like I understand if there's already music and you want to change it, like kind of like a radio
Right.
station.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like a bonus
that'd be
music or
cool.
something for the amiibo, that you can only get with the amiibo. Not turning on the music with the $30 amiibo. I mean, this is
Yeah,
getting out of hand. This is outside DLC in my opinion.
yeah, it's
Physical
physical hardware, physical tied
it's
to digital music. Yeah,
it's PLC instead of DLC. Physical loaded content.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I don't. It's a first for me. I've never. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's been similar to that, but um, not really. I mean, typically amiibos, you scan them, right, and they give you cool stuff, but I've never seen a developer take out music so it can be put back in via physical hardware. Like I think that's a first for me. I've never seen that
Yeah,
done,
that
and
I'm trying to
it's
think of anything.
interesting,
I'm trying to think of
but
anything that would have done that, but no. The closest thing I could think of, like the physical DLC, is the old Magnavox. And what you do, you had all the games and it had pool, but basically it was just Pong, right? And you would
uh-huh.
put these things on the screen of your TV, and it had like a hockey ring or a football stadium or a tennis, whatever,
Oh,
and
I
that's
think I
how we
remember
would
that.
play it. Yeah, they were, I think it was ColecoVision or Magnavox.
Yeah, because of the static, it would stick to the screen, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's interesting, It's kind of cool.
but it was just
Um,
basically still the same thing as you're still playing Pong, you know.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't think it
exactly.
might have been Magnavox because I'm looking at some of these and yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's Magnavox.
that's yeah, man, they're going way back.
Yeah, I mean you're talking the
Before my
80s,
before my time.
70s, 80s. I remember having
Yeah.
them on when I was a kid on our TV when we had one. Mag no, I haven't spelled that in so long.
Yeah, no kidding.
Old TV screen. Here they are. Here they are right here. No way. No way. It's in French. Nice. French or yeah, it's French. I have to say Portuguese or French. Dude, look at that. Wow. And the little screens and stuff. Like how did you race? Like it's Pong.
Yeah,
Old school
exactly.
cartridges and everything. Man.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is insane. We'll have to give credit to this guy. He was SOS Internautis, so I'm assuming SOS Internets. La forum de assistance por tutorials. So the forum for tutorials. Nice.
Right. Uh,
Okay, I didn't even need to Google translate that.
I'm pretty sure there is a way to translate, but
yeah, it gave
that's
me the
cool.
option, but it didn't. Oh, here it is, right here. They translated just the text.
Oh, there you
Well.
go.
After my 2 months on location, I thought it'd be a lot to get back to work. Seriously, roll. We have a whole list of various and varied topics. What's the difference between various and varied topics? Is it like jelly eating canned jams? It's different than a
Uh,
preserve.
uh, I don't know the difference of those, but
Me neither.
varied is like a couple, various, a little more than a couple. I don't know. I think it's the same, man. It's gotta be the same. I
There's
don't.
the hockey one right there. Let's go back there.
So, yeah. Anyways, right? Like, this is the first time I've ever seen anything like that before, and I hope it's the last time.
Yeah.
I, I mean, I've never seen a developer take out music just so it could be put back in or unlocked. This kind of reminds me of like when Street Fighter V came out and all of the well, there's a whole bunch of DLC and characters and the like outfit colors and stuff was all on the disc, but you had to buy it separately from the game on the day it came out. Like this reminds me of that when it's like it's already there, but you have to do something. You have to pay more money to unlock it.
Yeah, that's always bothered me about DLC in games like that, where they hide it behind a paywall. And you already made the content.
Yeah,
Just sell the game. And I've always made the case for GTA is,
yeah,
since they've come out, it's been nothing but, you know, DLC for online, always free. Now you have to grind in the game or buy shark cards, which I think are just lazy buying shark cards. But
yeah,
you grind away
yeah,
like
yeah.
you should do in any game. I'm trying to think what was the first game I did play that did have a paywall behind it. Wow.
Well, I mean, the first for me was World of Warcraft, I think. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
there's probably some.
yeah,
Yeah, there's.
Final Fantasy 11 for me then would probably be it.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Around right there. I think. I don't know which came first,
The
World of
chicken.
Warcraft or. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's true. Or is it? Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's been a few
That's
games that had, subscription models, but I know people who played like EverQuest. That was before WoW, I think, but
I played EverQuest.
or
Yeah, and Ultima.
yeah, and there's a Star Wars game too. Although, was it free? I can't
Wow.
remember if it was free.
Final Fantasy 11 was first released on May 16th of 2012, while World of
Okay.
Warcraft was released later on November 23rd, 2004.
I see.
Interesting. But then again, that's Wikipedia. So how much do we? You really
I
can't
mean,
trust them so much, eh?
well, do you trust the AI that generates it, or you try to trust Wikipedia? Wikipedia, which is
Well,
somewhat of a source.
the AI uses Wikipedia. you know, I, I I really wish we could just have a Encyclopedia Britannica online. You know,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
at
right.
least we know that's verified information and everything like that. Wikipedia, anybody can change it. Like when I
Sure.
eventually make a Wikipedia page about Timu Kid Rock, I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of stuff I'm going to go in and re-edit. No, I wasn't born in Uganda. No, I didn't do this or that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
Um. Anyways, yeah. I mean, from what I've heard and seen, I haven't played the game myself, but I've heard that Metroid Prime 4 people actually really enjoy it. It looks cool. I think the desert area in general, just I don't know if it really needs to be there. Um, it's just a lot of empty space. I mean, maybe they wanted to give up the players a reason to drive a cool motorcycle around. I'm not sure, or like gain materials, resources, whatever. But um, I don't know, man. Removing anything from the game just so you can lock it behind a paywall elsewhere. I don't like that at all. The game is already expensive, right? It's like $70, I think.
yeah.
The game, like, I know it's a different topic, but the fact that developers, publishers want to push a game out for $70 versus 60, I know it's like only $10, but it feels like it's so much more.
Yep.
And even like even just $60 to me is a lot of money, right? For one game, if you wait a month or two, right, it's gonna go 20% off, 30% off. And then it's more reasonable when it gets on the $40 price range. I think it's more reasonable depending on, how um how you you know how you value, I guess, specific game. But I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you think $70 is too much? $80 is too much?
I think 70, $80 is too much for a game because almost every game now it comes out and then you play it, you like it, and then they add downloadable content and it's another $30. So now you've paid $100 for a game, which, they just need to start releasing games in full. And I understand with online multiplayer, those type of updates, I kind of get those. But like if you take Fortnite's model, those updates are all
Yeah,
free. If you
yeah,
if you grind hard enough, you can earn enough V-Bucks to get the battle pass to go and get everything. And once you get the battle pass, as long as you grind the battle pass, you get enough to restart the battle pass in the next season. So a lot of those things, you just make your initial investment of $9 or whatever their battle pass thing is, and it will pay for itself as long as you grind on the game. You know. But the problem is they've made it to where you can just pay to win or pay to level up. You buy their product and then you use their V-Bucks and stuff, in their own system.
yeah,
And that's model needs to disappear. They need to just, here's new DLC if you want to go towards it. That's fine. Here you go. One-time purchase of this, and you'll earn coin in game and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
So I mean, it makes a I think a different model would work.
Yeah, all I know, man, is that games cost too much money to make. Um, and it takes a lot of time, especially games. If you compare a game today versus like 10 years ago, they're much more complex. And I know we have more powerful hardware now than we did, but we also there's people are used to a certain standard. So if you can't just you can go back, right, and make a game that's more simple, but there's a lot of like quality of life changes that we're accustomed to. So if you remove those, now it feels more old school. So if it doesn't have a certain art style, or it doesn't like feel old school, then it's gonna look new, but it's gonna feel old, and people just don't want to play it.
Right.
So I don't know. It's a tough.
Oops, I did not mean to do that. I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh,
I,
you're
for,
you're
I
good.
forgot to put in Discord our that we're streaming.
Oh, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. But I don't want to go off on a tangent, but um, anyways, that's all I had for Metroid. So I think we're good to move on.
Alrighty. Give me 1 second here. I want to just send this out to the entire everyone. Yes, I do know it's going to bother everyone, just like theirs bother me when I forget to turn off my notifications. All right, I believe you told me it was Control Tab onto the next subject. Got our Fallout 4 Bethesda subject here. Now, as far as I know, they did an update, and the update basically messed up everybody's servers and builds and stuff like that. Kind of like, they had crafted their whole little base and whatnot, or their whole little world, and they did the update. And the update basically erased everybody's world or whatnot. I mean, I mean, that's kind of what happened in Minecraft as well, I think. So, I don't know too much about it because I played Fallout for a little bit, but it's boring by yourself. So I haven't played it in a bit. But I do have both Fallout and Fallout
It's boring.
76.
All right, so here's the scoop. All right, so originally we were going to talk about this last week, so this is kind of old news, but
Yeah.
I'll cover it.
Sorry, everybody.
So
This is old news. We ran into some trouble last week, and now this is our first official. We got everything going great as far as we know here. So these are last week's topics. We'll get up to date next week.
Yeah. So, and I'll kind of talk about something that is happening currently with Bethesda. And dude, they just keep messing up. I don't understand what is happening behind the scenes, but I feel like they're lost. So, for anybody who doesn't know or doesn't follow the Fallout 4, Bethesda saga, I guess. So they've released a new version of Fallout 4 called the Anniversary Edition, and um, in this version, it essentially has a lot of their like paid mods and stuff kind of thrown in to this version, so you can, um, you can, download the mods. You could, kind of try out whatever,
Right.
suits how you want to play the game, or what you want to try out. But when they released the Anniversary Edition, right, they updated, at least on the PC. This primarily impacts PC. They've updated the game, the original version of the. I don't remember the exact version of what it was called, but there's like Fallout 4 or Fallout 4. There's another version of Fallout 4, and then there's this Anniversary Edition. And this Anniversary Edition updates the previous version of the game. So all of the mods that people developed themselves, a lot of those broke. So those developers had to go in and modify them so that they would work with this new version. And then they go ahead and update that version with a new version. And now the developers of these mods have to do it again. It's like, dude, can you guys just leave it alone? Okay, create like a branched version so that people can stay on a specific branch, and they don't have to keep, we don't have to keep updating our mods. Now, that's kind of what's been going on for Fallout 4. Now, there's another update for Skyrim on Nintendo Switch 2, and they've like Skyrim on the Switch and Switch 2 originally was working fine. They released like similar to this, like an Anniversary Edition, right? Similar to what Fallout's doing, and it is incredibly laggy. Like there's so much input lag. It's like longer than a second. So you push the, like if you want to move right, you push the button, and a second or longer later, then your character moves. Like it is really, really bad. I have not seen if they fixed it yet. I'm hoping they did. I really do, because it's unplayable. Like from what I've seen, it's really bad.
And that's 376, right?
No, this is Skyrim on the Switch 2.
Oh, Skyrim. Okay, yeah, that's why. Okay, I heard that wrong.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so
the Game Awards are starting here pretty soon. 5 o'clock.
That's cool. That's awesome.
I don't know if we could stream that and talk about it.
We can't stream that. I'm pretty sure we can't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Um, man, I'm pretty sure Hollow Knight Silk Song's gonna win some awards.
That or
And
Obscura, 33.
yeah,
I can't remember.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
Obscura 33. Yeah,
that's what people keep telling me. I have yet to
no, that game
play it.
is it's amazing, dude. It's a really cool game. Like you should play it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you like turn-based games, but um, it's like turn-based, but it has like almost like events like in your combat. So like when you go to like use like a I don't know, it's a skill, right? It's like magic, right? You do like an attack. You have to hit X at the right time, and then when they're attacking, you can dodge or you can uh like parry or jump, right? And then do a follow-up attack. So it's about timing, right? Like that kind of thing. So it's like another layer on top of like just turn-based combat. It's really fun, and the
right.
story is really cool. So I recommend it. It's awesome. And then of course I recommend Silk Song. I mean, it's a fantastic game. Music is amazing. Visuals are awesome. But yeah, I mean those two are definitely gonna win awards. So all
Yeah,
right, that's it. That's it for Fallout.
I'll
Just else to
definitely.
add. I hope they I hope they figure out where they're going wrong because they just keep updating things, and it's like, why? Just leave it alone. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, something I've noticed as of late, especially in not only the media industry but the video game industry, is they keep giving us what we already had, and then they shine
Yeah,
it up, they spit it on it, put it in a nice new box, and a nice new bow on it, and then charge us $70 for it, and tell us we're going to have the same experience we did when we were a kid. And that's something that bothers me. I had my experience with that game already. I've tried playing these new ones like that. No, they're crap. They don't play like that because that was the experience of gaming. It was the evolution. I'm looking forward to seeing what the PS6 is going to do or the Xbox whatever is going to do. Or, I'm always looking at the next iteration, right? And when I want to play those older games, I'm going to load them up on an emulator or I'm going to load them up on my um, on my NES little thing, I have one of those small little all-in-one NESs, you know, and load up Mario Brothers or whatever and play on that controller. Even that though doesn't feel the same. Like the I tried playing Punch Out, and yeah, that's kind of tough on these little emulators because the timing is actually off. The delay between the controller and everything is different than it was when I was growing up.
yeah, true.
And so I'm finding when I'm playing, because I used to be able to put on Mike Tyson Punch Out on a Nintendo and blow through it without losing once. That's how good I got at the game. I just found out every one of the patterns. And now the patterns are still the same, but the timing's off because the controller delay and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, it's cool for them to remake our games, but if they're going to do that, they just need to remake the game itself and make sure the timing's right on it. I don't want another.
Yeah,
I don't want another Doom. I don't want another Golden Eye. I had my Golden Eye. Don't ruin it.
yeah, yeah,
And that's what they're doing. Is same with the movies and stuff like that. And books that are coming out are just copies of other books retitled. Basically plagiarized. They've I don't know how many times they've retold the Odyssey. In how many different ways and stories, and it's still the Odyssey. They just changed
yeah.
names and places, locations. Give me something original, like my thoughts and prayers, thing. I don't know if I sent you one of those AI videos I did with Sora. It was thoughts and prayers, and they showed up into a disaster afterwards. Did
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
nothing and then left.
yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, I want to get your take on something. Then okay, this is
Yeah.
um a really good subject because like I mean it's not yeah it's just not video games but movies too, right? Like remaking or rehashing old ideas because they don't have the creativity anymore, right? I don't know why, but I think it's just because it's faster and easier to remake something than to come up with something brand new.
Right.
But okay, so we've seen a lot of remakes. We've seen like games that are just like, oh, we'll just add like a higher resolution and increase the frame rate and call it a day, right? We've seen others where it's like they actually rebuild the game, and it's like it's your old game, but it feels new.
Yeah.
And then you've got games that are like it's almost like a reimagining of what someone else thinks it should be, right? So you've got like these maybe three or four different levels to it. And I don't mind any of them. The only thing is if it's just like a bet like higher resolution and better frame rate, like it better not have any problems. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be good, like solid, or else it's why did you do that in the first place? So here's my question for you. So I think really the only game that I know of, or series of games that I know of, where it's like it's almost like a reimagining and even changing some aspects of the original, is the Final Fantasy remakes of well, Final Fantasy VII. So you have a three-part series, right?
Yeah.
Because they couldn't fit it all in one
Yeah.
disc,
Yeah.
like the original. But um, I kind of just want to get your thoughts. Like I guess I'll ask, like, have you played either of them, the part one or part two?
You mean Rebirth and
Yeah,
Refract, whatever
yeah,
the first one was? Yes,
yeah.
I'm actually on my third playthrough on Rebirth because I'm not a fan
Okay.
of the first disc. It's very constrictive and very like linear, and I'm not really a fan of that. And when
Oh,
waiting, how many years was it? 3 years until we got the second part, and it was open world a little bit more. I mean, it's still linear, but at least the area is a little more open world.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So did you beat the first one, the first part?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So I get that you don't like the linear aspect, probably of the original too, right? Like it was short. The first disc was relatively short, I would
Yeah,
say.
in the original, the first disc was relatively short too.
Yeah, yeah. And the second disc was okay. You're already out
Yeah,
doing open
and
world
then the
stuff.
third disc is when you finally was the very first thing you found was in the third disc was you had just found the golden saucer, and then you're like, yeah, and it's like insert third disc. You're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But then it loads up, and the very first music you hear is the golden saucer's music. So I gotta give him
Some of the
credit for that, dude.
best.
That was one of the best transitions ever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the Golden Saucer too. The music is so man. I love the Golden Saucer.
And
I wish it was a real place.
yeah, well, it's called Vegas.
Yeah, but
There's no
I don't
horse
want to go
racing in
there.
Vegas because the horses would die from the heat.
True,
They got NASCAR. They
true.
even got F1 now. Ruined in the
Oh,
streets.
don't even get me started on
Popping
F1 in
manhole covers
Vegas.
still.
It was it was bad.
That
Okay,
race was bad. I
so
watched the highlights. I was like, oh man. But yeah,
yeah,
keep going.
yeah.
I'm sorry about it. I tend to go
Now
on
you're
tangents. That's
now you're good. So
why people
so
tune in to hear me go on my tangents.
so here now you're fine. So here's my question. Okay, so obviously the developers they wanted to do their own thing, right? With the Final Fantasy remakes, but like, do you think that they went and changed too much from the original, or do you think they kind of they didn't cross any boundaries or any lines? Because I mean, you want to stay true to the old fans, but you also, I guess, they wanted to introduce some new things too. But I just want to get your take on it.
Being honest, I would have to say a little bit of both. I really enjoy how the game still somewhat directs you where you need to go, right? But I've always been, you know me. I mean, I'm that one guy everyone hates in a group because I'm over there exploring over here when everyone's running this way. I'm like,
Yeah,
hold on, let me get this button, let me switch around this corner. And everybody's like, "Oh, don't do that." And like, "Oh, look what I found." Everybody's like, "Oh, okay, let's come over there now. Now we'll listen to Jason." Timu Kid Rock, and anyway, I enjoyed the exploration aspect of this one. I like that they did a good job with encounters because that's one thing that's always bugged me about the old classic encounters is they're so random. And I know you can step time and do it just right, and when people will do speed runs of Final Fantasy VII And
Yeah.
they've learned to time the steps right and everything to get around certain encounters. So they know this area has this many encounters, and you can increase that or decrease that by certain way you move. And so that's always bothered me about those games because you're walking along, oh, let's go explore. Three slimes. Oh, yay. Here we go again. Let me kill three slimes and a rat. Okay, killed them all. Let's go. And take out those things. Oh, here we go again. Another battle. Three slimes and a rat, or two rats and a slime. It's what I'm saying. It just got repetitive. And I know it's to get the experience. So in this one, I enjoyed the fact that you could attack if you wanted to and avoid if you wanted to. And but however, if you did attack, you would gain your experience points, and you also learn what. So I enjoyed the aspect of the game and the exploration aspect and the how we got the summons. That was a really good way they did that. Um,
Hmm.
so I think they kept the natural flow of the original game. The story is still the same. It's actually told better. Um, Being able to see those in more than like see beautiful scenes in more than just the one scene in the water, and everything like that in the original Final Fantasy VII, where that was like the one main scene they put all the money into, and it looked almost real on our PlayStations. You know, to see those replayed in some of those scenes is really cool. The piano, that was a good addition. Playing the piano, it's hard, but it's fun to watch people's videos on those and some of the stuff, some of the tunes that they come up with and stuff like that. Someone did the Sound of Silence on the piano from that. It just reminds me of the Arcania of Time, where I used to play different songs on it. But
That's cool.
yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my take. I think they did a good job with it in one of those games compared to Vice City, San Andreas, when they remade those with that second
Yeah,
party
that's the
company.
bare minimum.
And yeah, that was the bare minimum. I mean, modders came in and fixed everything and made it way better. And then Rockstar was like, no, 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 no. No, it wasn't even Rockstar, it was Take Two. They were like, no, no, no. Don't mess with our project's games, blah, blah, blah. We know it's crap. And we're going to leave it like that because we want to re-release it on PlayStation 5, on Switch, on your phone, you know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hey, get
Yeah,
GTA
exactly.
now. You too can play those. GTA Plus now, and you can play them too. Like bully scholarship. Like the, that game is great. It's a great game for its time. That's a game I think if they put some effort into it, they could make a remake or a second edition of it. Like where your character's all grown up and his kid's going off to school because he's all a punk kid. You know, I think they should revisit some of those. Midnight Club,
That'd be awesome. A remake of Midnight Club.
not
Oh, that'd
even
be
a remake. Just give
fantastic.
us a new one.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
And keep the old styles. The trucks were the bruisers. You had your muscle cars that were the strikers, and then you had your slower cars that were the defenders. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I miss Midnight Club. I know it got kind of overtaken by Need for Speed, but
Hmm.
like I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I almost want to get an original Xbox just to play it, but I can't hold them big old controllers anymore.
Yeah, the original Xbox controller was huge, man. I mean, I was kind of little back then, but yeah, it was a big controller.
Yeah, and heavy, because we were so used to playing like on the PlayStation and Nintendo controller, and like so the Xbox controller was relatively heavy compared to the N64 controller, unless you had a Rumble Pack, because the batteries in the Rumble Pack is what made it heavy,
Yeah,
and
oh
the
yeah,
big ass
sure.
little that big old spindle in it that would spin and vibrate when they went off. And then yeah, you gotta give them ingenuity. They just use balance technique for the vibrations. All these controllers, they're just half of a coin, basically all like stacked like nickels, and they cut a quarter off of it, and then they glue it
Yeah,
on there. And when the vibration happens, it just spins the thing. And because of
yeah,
that missing piece in that stack of nickels, it makes the controller vibrate. And that's
yeah.
ingenious. It's basically, oh, everybody say hello to my dog Sparky. He's in the background. I'm sure you heard that. And the wife is probably yelling at him as well, which just to get him to be quiet. We bought one of those sticks, Metal God. They're the like this little flashlight type deal. and it has like a flashlight on it, and you push a button, and it's supposed to emit a sound like a dog whistle. And I thought it works because the dog did
Uh-huh.
react to it at first, but now Sparky, every time he sees it, he's just like, "What?" Like it doesn't shock them or anything. It just plays like a dog whistle sound, and this weird little. It looks like a flashlight, like made out of safety orange, and
Okay.
you push the button and it's supposed to emit a sound, but it flashes like a strobe. But I can't tell if the thing works on him or not.
Maybe
he's
he's just ignoring it, you know?
that's
He's like, gosh, shut up.
that's
I
what
don't
I'm
care.
thinking. He's barked at it a couple times. I'm like pointing at him, and it's flashing. He's just like, "Arr! Bark, 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 arr!" I'm like, "Whoa, dude, you're supposed to be annoyed by this thing. What the hell?" He's like, "Yeah, this is annoying, Dad." Ah!"
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So the reason why I asked you about Final Fantasy Remake is because, okay, just give some, I guess, insight on what I thought, right? So, I I love the original Final Fantasy. It's like one of my all-time favorite games. And I felt they followed the game in general, like the original, pretty well. Up to the end, it kind of gets weird, you know? Like the first part, right? It gets really weird. I wasn't following. I'm like, why am I fighting Sephiroth right now? But cool battle. Um, and then I thought the second game, yeah, it's more open world, really cool. I mean, I thought they did a really good job, but I will say that these games, I, especially the first game, I felt like had a lot of just fluff in it, right? Just some stuff in there to extend the gameplay without really giving you any reason why you're doing what you're doing. And it just kind of dragged on. But
I had to agree with you on that. That it
yeah,
did have a lot of fluff. Um,
yeah. I mean, I think they're great remakes, and they add some new stuff, some new ideas, and in general stay along. They follow the original story, but they obviously add a lot of cool details, things that because they have a problem, right? Like the problem is that they there was a lot of stuff in the original that wasn't there. It was just kind of assumed that happened, right?
yeah, yeah,
Uh, and so they kind of have to fill in those gaps and with something that doesn't exist. So they have a problem of how do we fill in those gaps without you know making people upset, like changing something very drastic. It could, I mean, something that wasn't there in the original that there is in the remake. It could, it could, if they don't do it right, it's gonna make people upset. It's not gonna make sense, so that's the kind of the fine line you have to, I guess they have to live with if they're gonna do this type of remake. And I don't know, at least I haven't seen other remakes done to this level of detail.
right.
But I think it's awesome. And I know it's like building a whole game from scratch, basically just following a storyline from a previous, the original. But
Yeah. Well, what I
uh,
think they really did is they took Final Fantasy 12 and
uh-huh.
12X and then overlaid that onto the, Final Fantasy 7 basically. They rewrote the story and everything using that engine. And then, but as time progressed, when they did Rebirth, they had new technology. And by then, you had Final Fantasy, what, 14, 15, whatever. So they just went
Yeah,
back. It's kind of like with the whole Grand Theft Auto 6 thing. People fail to realize there's a lot of work. And if they really want to put out a game that is literally going to cost one price, and you won't have to buy anything else, just work your butt off playing it, just like GTA 5 online and stuff like that, I really think it's going to be run the same way. They will have, you know, shark cards. They probably won't be called shark cards anymore, though. I bet they'll change the name because it'd be Miami. It'll probably be something like dolphin cards or something. I mean,
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how they do it. Like you're the game developer, so you know more about that. But, how is it to take something like that and just put it into another engine? You know, after you've worked on it for like
It's
10 years.
well, I mean, I'll just put it this way: you don't start with nothing, okay? Like you typically take what you have and then you build upon it. But I mean, if you really want something truly different, something new, like take for example, Grand Theft Auto 4 compared to 5, like it feels completely different, you know? Like everything had a lot of weight to it in the original, in 4. The cars were heavier, your movement was I think they used a Euphoria physics engine, if I remember right. It's been a long time, but it's a lot different than what they're using now. So a lot of time has passed between 4 and 5, right? Same with 5 and 6. Now, I think there's a lot of changes though between like changes that happened outside of Grand Theft Auto between 4 and 5. Like a lot of developers use their own game engines, and they kind of build things from scratch, or they use other library systems, etc.
Right.
But today, majority of developers are using um,
Unreal.
something like, yeah, like Unreal or Unity.
Yeah, I've seen the
Those are
Unity
the
one's
primary.
gotten better over the years, dude. I've seen that. But the
Well,
Unity one still has the problem with like an Assassin's Creed the parkour problem.
well, that's. I mean, I wouldn't say that's Unity's fault, but Unity definitely I mean, Unity has its own challenges. Assassin's Creed, parkour in general is very complex. It's like a complex motion system.
Hmm.
Um, I obviously don't work at Ubisoft, so I don't know what it actually looks like, but I assume, it. The problem there is they have to determine like, okay, you're gonna jump on its branch, right? Like, and then it can go left or right. Like, how do you know which animation to play and when? It's very, very. I'm assuming it's very tricky to get right. And I know they've improved it over the years, but yeah. But anyways, my point is, um, I don't know what the jump between Grand Theft Auto 5 to 6 is gonna be, and I mean, I know we're getting kind of close to the life cycle of the PS5, Xbox, One X. Um, I don't know when the next generation is going to come out, but I'm assuming that we're getting fairly close. But they're saying Grand Theft Auto is going to come out next year. Um, so I don't know.
Grand
We'll
Theft Auto 6
see.
is rumored to come out November 16th of next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. You know what? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they push it to 2027, and and I'm assuming the consoles are going to be coming out around that time. That's what I would assume. Um, then the next version of the PlayStation, and if there is an Xbox console, then the next version of the Xbox console. That would make sense to me, but I don't know. I'm not really living in that world anymore, so I don't really know
Right.
the
Yeah,
but
I think the first pushback in May, when they're like, oh, it's gonna come out in May, and they're like, okay, never mind, it's gonna come out in November of 2025, right? I
yeah,
think that first pushback had a lot to do with how the political climate changed,
maybe.
and they had to go back and rewrite script and stuff like that, and record new dialogue and whatnot, because they had a bunch of dialogue already done and everything, and because if you go and you listen to like the radio and stuff like that in Grand Theft Auto Online, over time the dialogue has changed to fit the culture. So they've gone in and
Interesting.
changed the radio and changed NPCs, what they say and stuff like that. So writing all that dialogue when something like that happens, and then the this next one coming out, I'm willing to bet that there were just some graphical problems, like simple stuff that they just couldn't get pinned down. Like when you open a car door and your body phases through it, and then you flip over and slam on the other side. Now it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens one in 1,000 times, which is in a game like that's going to be a the first actual official quadruple title,
Yeah.
quadruple A game. I mean, not that
True.
not Sea of Thieves. What's the other one? The Skull and Bones that Ubisoft.
Quadruple A. Yeah.
Yeah, they were well, first. No, you wanted to give us Black Flag, and you gave us just the shipping part of Black Flag, and yay, we get to get out and walk around a little island, and yeah, okay, and get back in our ship and get blown up constantly by people who are just Grand Theft Auto on the sea. That's kind of how
So bad.
Sea of Thieves was the same way for me. I played that for a little while. I ran into a few people who were helpful, But then
Yeah.
I ran into a few people who were helpful for about 3 minutes, and as soon as they helped you get what you needed, they blew you up and took your stuff. In other words, you did all the work, and they just blew you up. And here, I'll show you how to
Yeah.
do it. Or teach, I'll show you where to go get that, and you go get it and stuff. Then I'll show you where to sell it, and boom, they kill, take you out. And so I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So those are some of the issues I have with online gaming and stuff like that. I guess that's why I played Rocket League so long, for so long, even though it's
Yeah.
competitive and I got angry a lot playing that game because that's just my competitive nature. I get mad at myself for not playing right. I mean, I'll admit it, love him to death. He's one of my best friends. We've kind of drifted over the years, but Dutch, him and we played tons of games. We started off on Grand Theft Auto. We went on to the Division, and my life took it, this way or that way, obviously. And so he went on and kept playing Division. I got left behind. But like Rocket League, we both started playing Rocket League at the same time, almost. Like Cafe turned us on to it, and we were playing it, and I just noticed our play style is exactly the same. And so no matter what we're
Mhm.
doing, even as good friends we are, we're butting heads in the game constantly, you know, because we literally play exactly the same. And it was hard to get away from that and try to play it. And by then, he started getting way better than me. You guys got way better than me because I got older and you guys got better.
Sure.
Believe me, I want to be. My brain says, "Yeah, you can do those moves. Let's do them." And I do all the things on the controller, but it doesn't do it because I didn't hit it just fast enough, or I didn't hit this button just right enough. So like, I wish I
Yeah.
could play
Yeah.
like that. So I just stuck with the basics, and when I stuck with the basics, I was good.
Yeah.
I kept out of
Yeah.
everybody's way. Just blunk. Here you go, guys. I like the pass. That was my thing. I couldn't shoot very well. I knew that. I wasn't Michael Jordan. You know, I was more like Scottie Pippen. Just assist,
There you go.
assist, assist, assist. Oh, here's one for me.
Yeah.
Own
Yeah.
goal. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that's a that's a whole another conversation. Like multiplayer, like today's multiplayer, like team based or PVE.
I like
Like
PVE. I do like PVE. Like Destiny is a
yeah.
good idea. I just wish they made more games like that, and I just wish people who played them weren't so elitist.
Right.
That's a big problem that I think happened in games is people get elitist. Oh, I've run this raid 400 times, so I know better than you. Instead of being like, hey, it's your first time. All right, stick close to me. I'll tell you. I'll walk you through it. You know, it's don't mess up. Make sure you hit your blockers on this. Make sure you do this. It's like, whoa, dude, it's my first time. I literally just said that's why I said, hey, first time here. Can you explain a little what's going on? Oh, you should research and watch videos. Why would I spoil this when I have not yet played it? And that's
Yeah.
that's the type of stuff that in multiplayer like that you get. And so PvE is also destroyed in that sort of sense. But you're right, we should keep that topic for another. Like that's one we could go off for a couple hours, I
Yeah.
think.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're gonna save that everybody for next week. That's a nice, good topic. I think we'll keep that topic for next week for sure. Just let me write that down. Yes, I have to write stuff down, people. Oh, Chris. Oh, sorry. Metal God. I'm gonna get used to it. I apologize.
It's fine. You can call me that. I don't care. It's
I've
fine.
gotten old, and I now have to wear readers, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. You showed me. You look pretty good, honestly.
Oh, that's right. Did you? I see. There's a memory thing too. Getting
We talked about this, Grandpa.
next week. Let me write this down with my pen that's gonna be running out of ink here. Oh, that
You
wrist
write
still
that
works
much, huh?
out. Uh, multiplayer lobbies. I'll just put that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many games, man. So many games these
PvE
days.
and PvP.
Like the extraction shooters, all that. Like, dude, there's so much there. Yeah, yeah. I like extraction shooters,
Okay, the
but there
extraction
are
shooters
some.
are like Helldivers, Arc, whatever it's
Yeah,
called, Arc Raiders.
yeah.
Um,
Art creators.
yeah, they're lucky they worded that right, huh?
Yeah.
We don't want to be
Yes.
finding any lost arcs and be raiding those. You know,
Uh,
what if they took Lost Ark? and Arc Raiders and combine them into an MMO drop in, drop out. It would be Raiders of the Lost Ark. I know, I'm a dad
Well,
joke.
that just sounds awful.
Just like my UPTub joke. I tell you, I told you the joke, right? What do Ewoks? What streaming service do Ewoks use um, to watch movies? YubTub. YubTub. It's a dad joke.
I
I wrote it a long time ago. It's stupid, but I finally it was my question of the day yesterday,
okay.
or the day before.
I didn't hear that one. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I wrote it like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I can't remember. It was long, long, long. It was when YouTube came around, and I was like, oh my gosh, YubTubs, because that's what I'm gonna call it. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't, because I could write a joke with that, and then years later I could tell the joke, and people would actually get what the joke is. Because right now, no one really knows what YouTube is. They wouldn't get the joke, and Star Wars isn't that popular right now. So I went through like this whole mental thing with it, and so I saved it for like 15, 20 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. All right, so I want to move on to. We've been dipping in and out of the Grand Theft Auto thing, but I want to move on to the Grand Theft Auto Mansions update and everything. Since I've now had a chance to play it, it was going to be a speculation video, and still kind of is, because I have not gotten everything that comes and you can afford. Um, but I was one thing I did notice, and I quite thoroughly enjoyed, was you do get a cameo, and they show the cameo. It's up here on the picture right here. Just go to Rockstar Online. This is their website. So it's not a spoiler or anything like that, because you can just go to their website, or actually you'll see the YouTube trailer. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely is the end of Grand Theft Auto Online. I believe it's going to be the final update. Um, I think they're going to start focusing all those teams and everything. They're going to split them and try to save Red Dead Online, but the rest are going obviously into Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever game they're working on, after Grand Theft Auto 6, because they're already working on something. Midnight Club, if you hear me, Rockstar. Midnight Club. That'd be a great game to have back, please. Tune into my tiny little channel, Rockstar people, and listen to what we have to say about Midnight Club. But anyway, the mansions were pretty cool. There's only three. They are over. You're gonna spend, just to get the basics, at least 15 million. So you got a lot of grinding to do. Um, like I said, it was gonna be more of a speculation video, so I don't really have much on them. Um,
How much
they
is the most expensive one?
the most, see, they range. Well, there's a thing. Okay, what happened? It was in the last month they released three new missions, or like it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was three new missions that you could do that were basically helping to set up to the storyline for the mansion, right? For them to appear. And if you played all three, no matter who you were, even if you had GTA Plus or not, if you played all three, then you got a discount of $2 million off your mansion. If you had GTA Plus, you got a $3 million discount because they gave you an extra million. Also, they give you your $500 monthly bonus, which is kind of convenient as well. um, so it was 12, I think, it was 9.8. I think is what I paid for the Rockford Hills one. Let's see if I can if they show any of them here. Um, yeah, there was the Rockville Hills, Richmond Villa. This is it right here. This is the one I got, and it's pretty cool because you got a lot of stuff in it, but they were expensive. So you still have to like buy, the auto workshop. You still have to buy the space for the arcade, a podium for your favorite car, security. However, the AI voice is free, and you get a choice of three. You get a Siri type voice. You get a James Bond butler type voice. Yes, ma'am, sir. That one. I think his name's Healy or something. And then you get an OG one, which I believe sounds like one of the characters in the game, Lamar. So he talks to you in OG language and stuff like that. But they have a helipad, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's been a grind for all of it, and then seeing the game come out, I don't really see them updating anymore, man. And I've been
I think
babbling
they
on
moved
again
on.
about this.
Yeah, they're probably focused. Probably most of the teams focus on the next game, and they're just trying to keep this one afloat. You know. But yeah, as far as like the mansions go, I mean, it sounds like a lot of money that you have to save up. That's a lot, but like, what do you do in your mansion?
You can play your arcade games. You can work out, which like if your character's not maxed out to 100 or everything, like mine isn't. It's strength. You can do workout and stuff like that. You can, like I said, play arcade games. There's a movie theater, and you can watch the movies that Michael DeSantis actually makes. Like, okay, sorry everybody, 13-year spoiler alert here, but Michael DeSantis goes on to, if you don't take care of him at the end of the game with Franklin, he goes on to produce more movies and stuff like that, and they represent that in online, and you can actually go and see his movies in some of the theaters, and so you have a choice of watching them on the screen in your home theater now. 20 car garage, a mod garage. Um, Oh, yes. The AI allows you to send out your people for business stuff. So if you have vehicle warehouse or regular warehouse, you can do it by your phone and send them out that way. I think that's only if you have GTA Plus. But you can also resupply your bunker, resupply a couple other things. I can't remember. You can get your bail people to go out. So there are perks to doing it. But like a lot of people who have mansions who went and got them, like me, like we're old players. We've been playing since the game came out, and it's just one of those things to kill the time. I'm just constantly like, I'll get on there and just do daily stuff. Not playing with anybody. No one's really on to play and do missions with or anything. And generally, when I'm on and there's a bunch of people on, with a group or whatnot, it's let's help everybody get everything done, and then it's like, hey, can I get help? I just helped everybody. Can I get some help doing this? Oh, we gotta go. It's dinner. It's lunch. So there's a lot of that happens. So
Yeah, life, man, life.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I've learned to solo a lot. So I get my groove in it. And what I'll do is they've added a lot of stuff to the game. Like pizza missions. You can deliver pizzas. You can drive taxis. You can deliver medication. You can deliver green medication. That's actually one of the money front businesses right here. Is a car wash. It's one. This is one that came out that came out last. This is the one before this one. So you got the smoke on the water, and you got heli tours and stuff, and it launders all your money. You work for this guy, Mr. Faber, and all that.
cool.
But I mean, they've really done a good job at the game, and it's sad to see that we have a whole nother year to go, and not probably won't see anything added anymore.
Yeah.
But it's been a good run.
Well, you can always go back to the old Grand Theft Auto games like 3 or Vice City, San Andreas, beat the game and then do the what do you call it? The territory wars, I don't know what they call it, but
Oh yeah, where you have to take down all the gangs and everything like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So people have their own like territories and stuff. You gotta take them out.
That's an
It just
online
keeps
stuff
going.
with these new ones.
No, no, it was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So after you beat the story, um, you could do like territory wars. So you try to control the whole city.
Oh, yeah, I think I did that before because I think I made the mistake of beating all the territories before the end of the game.
Oh, yeah, I
And I
see.
controlled everything, and then I beat the game, and I was like, "Oh, now go and beat them." I'm like, when did they take over again? Like that's ridiculous. So I just said, "No, I'm good with that. I've already
Yeah,
done
okay.
that. Don't make me do it again."
Yeah, you could do like a Fat Man playthrough where you're just fat the whole time. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a good idea. No, I think I've gone back to the Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2. It's the winter time, so it's those games are the ones I tend to play during the winter time. I looked at my save dates, and they're
Yeah,
from
same
last
here.
year in November.
Especially two.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
too, because that beginning, you know, like that's how I
Yeah.
feel right now. I'm gonna go hunt me some deer. Go down there and hunt me some deer. We're gonna have to save John again. Mr. Pearson, would you please kindly make us some stew?
I don't feel like it.
I don't know where that came from. I have not been practicing that. Seriously. Like
You
all of
sure
a
you didn't go
sudden
to Michigan sometime soon?
no, it's like playing those games is what it is. I hear so much about it. I think it's kind of a sling blade type thing, you know. I reckon. And you just don't be as you be there more in the head than you know, like Sling Blade was. I reckon. My brother does a good a good um Sling Blade stuff.
Northeastern
Billy Bob
impression?
Thornton. Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh,
Sorry, I
okay.
got caught reading chat. As always, my wife can grab my attention almost anywhere. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for listening in tonight. We appreciate it. Um, we've had quite the conversations. They've gone all over the place, and I think that's what this podcast is really about. It's not so much our direct topics and stuff like that, but I think just our conversation and topics come up, and we have our direct topics we can stay on and stuff and get back to. But I have the most fun with you, man, when we're just shooting it, and we're just hanging out.
You mean you like talking to people and not machines?
I like talking
Yes.
to you, sir, more than most people. I will admit
Yes.
that. I
True.
do have the talent to talk to pretty much anybody. They used to tell me I had a cult of personality, which I assume meant like a politician or a lawyer. I'll tell you one and one, two make three.
Or a serial killer? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't want to go that route.
Well, that's good.
I prefer a CEO businessman or a stock bro. Those are exactly along the same lines of the cereal eating people. But no, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope everything came in well. I did hear a little echo, and that might be my fault, maybe because I'm not wearing my headphones fully over my head, and it's blaring into my mic just a little bit more. So, if you did hear Metal God have a reverb in his voice, we apologize. I'm still working on that. It can't be as bad as it used to be. When we were doing our
Hopefully
testing,
not. But
I found that I was hearing it when we were. I was watching the stream before we really started, so I didn't hear it then. So, but I'm also hard of hearing. Reckon. Eh, that's the best part about growing up. People telling me, "Hey, I'm half deaf." Huh? What? Yeah. Yeah. What? Huh? But again, thank you everybody for watching. If you want to support my shorts channel and the podcast, we do have a Patreon at the Brothers Grump, Patreon at Brothers Grump, and a Buy Me Coffee under the same thing. I have an Instagram channel called Not Kid Rocks, which I'll be changing soon to Timu Kid Rock if they allow me to. I'm not sure they will. It might have to stay not underscore Kid Rock. Um, but where I do video game shorts of the video game questions of the day and Star Wars questions of the day, and you can see my ugly mug. Apparently, MG88, I don't just look like Kid Rock. People are now calling me Timu Chris Jericho, and I'll go with it.
What?
Chris Jericho is a handsome man, and I'll go with it.
Chris Jericho?
Yeah,
All
Chris
right.
Jericho, Timu Jericho. Who knew the walls were that bad?
Oh,
But
that's funny.
tune in next week, everybody. We're gonna start having our regular times and everything. We're gonna get it solidified. We're working on everything. We appreciate you, everyone, tuning in today. Metal God, would you like to say anything to your parishioners?
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Take care.
All right, everybody. Thanks again. Have a good night. Timu Kid